for joining me, Elvis Lyonga, in Yaoundé for Insight the African Union. African leaders have expressed their desires to make Africa strong. This was during the 11th Extraordinary Summit of the African Union at the Nelson Mandela Hall at its headquarters in Addis Ababa. Ethiopian Prime Minister Ahmed Abiy took a prominent seat being host of the summit, along with current AU President Rwanda's Paul Kagame, with discussion centers on reforms and efforts aimed at revamping the structure of the union and developing a more independent means of financing its activities. Ethiopian Prime Minister, in his opening address like Kagame, seized the opportunity to reference on the Pan-African vision. He asked leaders of the union to stand together to survive changing global dynamics in order to set the right expectations and pace. Prime Minister Abiy also emphasized that one of the reforms initiatives that is of paramount importance to him is equal representation of women in key decision-making and leadership positions. Meanwhile, the yearly rotational presidency will move from Kagame to Egypt's Abdel El-Fattah El-Sisi in January 2019, when the leaders gather for the ordinary summit. Still within the African Union context, Gabon has been warned to respect constitutional order after a high court intervened in the crisis surrounding the country's hospitalized President Ali Bongo. A statement by AU Commission's Chair Musa Faki Mohammed, he emphasized that the 55-member group of the African nations had a strong commitment to the full respect of constitutional order in the country. Mohammed's statement comes shortly after Gabon's constitutional court said it had modified the country's basic law to address Bongo's temporal incapacity. Bongo, who is 59 years of age, has been hospitalized in the Saudi capital Riyadh since October 24. And after first saying he had suffered from severe fatigue, the president's office this week admitted that he had undergone surgery. Meanwhile, Vice President Pierre-Claver Manganga Moussavo has been authorized to call and preside over cabinet meetings, the first of which will take place on Friday in Libreville. The EU Commission's chair urged all who had influence in Gabon to show the necessary collective leadership during this time in order to preserve unity, peace, and stability in the country. In other news, solar energy could be used against deflation of fossil fuel in Africa. According to experts, more than two-thirds of Africa's population has no access to electricity. This situation prevents rural populations from having access to rural waters. It is for this reason that the West African Economic Monetary Union, WAEMO, hopes to reverse the trend rather by focusing on solar energy. The occasion took place in Togo with the 45th anniversary of the West African Development Bank. And finally, nothing brings harmony than good music. As we end today's AU page, we present to you Benin music icon Angelique Keju, who made Africa proud when she sang the Blow track in front of world leaders who had gathered in the French capital, Paris, for the commemoration of the ceremony of Armistice Day 100 years after the end of World War I. The track was originally sung by the late Togolese music diva Bello Bello. Sporting a dominant blue long dress with matching headgears, Keju's voice pierced the atmosphere with a track that, get this, most of the leaders could not understand, but they definitely have appreciated it. And that's how we saw it in today's edition of Insight the African Union. Remember, you could always see us online at Insight the African Union, or follow me on Facebook, and why not Twitter. Thanks for watching, and goodbye from Insight the African Union.